congratulations to Air Force. It was a battle, and they found a way to get it done. Excellent program, excellent young men and coaches, and so do we. We've got excellent young men and excellent coaches in there. Very disappointed that we lost. Our expectation is to win every game that we play, and we did not get that done today. I know defense is not real happy about giving up as many points as they did. Hard to give up 48 points and win a football game, but our kids kept battling over and over, and they continued to fight. And a lot of young guys grew up today and continued to fight and put themselves in a position at the end to maybe pull it out. But we didn't get it done, and all the credit goes to Air Force.
Seems like, much like last week, mistakes at the absolute worst times.
Well, I mean, when you say mistakes, well, some of them are questionable to me. Some of them, I thought our kids played really well, to be honest with you. Defensively, again, tough scheme to go against, tough scheme to prepare for in a very short period of time, but no excuses in our program. We expected to win, and we've got a couple untimely calls on third down against our defense. I'd like to see the film and see, what I thought of it. And, I thought offensively they played extremely well. Went out and 50% on third downs, threw the ball well, and just had an unlucky deal on an interception. I mean, I thought they did a good job of taking care of the ball. I didn't remember any fumbles. You had the one. It was just an unlucky deal. You're going to have that sometimes when you throw the ball. Guy just tipped the ball, and the other guy got it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That wasn't a poor decision. That was just an unlucky play. So that happens. That's part of football. You got to recover from those things. And, when it came down to it, they were able to execute their offense against our defense. And, that's the way it is. You go out and score 38 points at home, throw for over 400 yards, and, that was one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the nation on defense against the rush. And I think we were able to put up 135 yards against them. So, I thought our kids played well in spots and just not well enough, and we ran out of time.
How proud of you are Kyler Neal stepping into the role this week with Christian Henry being gone and him coming up, with averaging 8 yards per carry, 10 carries, and then I think 3 catches for 97 yards.
I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of all of them. They battled. I got Warriors in there. They're very disappointed that they lost, but, we're a good football team. We got beat by a better team today, and I'm very proud of Kyler. But we've always known that Kyler can do those things. He just got his opportunity. So, when one goes down, the other one steps in, and there's no, you pick the flag up and go. And we've got that. And I have all the faith in Duval and Jonathan John Bart. So, we have a very good football team. This just happens to be very, very young. And young guys have to go through their learning experiences, and when they finally break that door down. Now, we know how to win. We've won, and we will win games. But, when you're talking about a locker room in there with only 6 seniors at play, all those kids out there playing are young guys. First time they ever seen this kind of offense. Look at our defense. There's only 3 guys on our seniors on our defense, and for them to see that and get after it out there, that's not an excuse. Very proud of all of them. I loved it. I don't know about how they felt, but I loved it. I mean, more the fans, the merrier. The more, I don't care who they come to root for. We just like the energy in the building, So I'm glad that they brought people. I'm very proud of the Georgia State people. They were loud too. The ones that were there were very thankful for them coming out also. It was supposed to be exactly what we called, and they ran exactly what we called belly. And they pinched a guy, and he beat a guy across his face, and I felt that the spot wasn't very good. And I thought that when the guys upstairs felt we had the first down, but obviously the people that spot the ball are the ones that count, and we didn't get it. So, it was a well-executed play with the exception of one of the Air Force guys really did a good job of getting across somebody's face. No. No. No, you can't change your strategy in the first quarter. You know, it was just you had to settle in and play, and we had to try to settle them down. And you know, there's some things that they're seeing for the first time, and get them in there. And you know, we didn't do a good job of stopping it, but our offense picked it up and started going, and you know, got some points on the board and made it a good football game. Well, yes and no, but you know, the defenses do things that don't allow you to run the ball a little more. So there are times that they're stacking the box. So, well, most of our passes are geared to the underneath and quick game. It's just every now and then, if they give you something down the field, you got to take it. And I think Nick does a really good job of that. We're taught to take what they give. Yes, sir. Yes, a lot of teams will. You know, that's what I mean, they ran the ball 65 times. 65 times out of 80 plays. You know, so they're going to get yardage. They're going to. You know, that's why they run that offense. And so, I mean, it's tough for a lot of people. We didn't do well enough to win the game today. That's about what I can say about it.
Coach, you said in the first week you was having a Christian game. You do believe that you run the ball to set up the pass. Be that today was an extremely even one pass attempt as far as yard gain. Going forward throughout the season, will we see a more evenly distributed run attack as well as a pass attack?
We'll always try to be balanced. We'll always try to be even in how we do things. But again, you get in certain defenses and they'll take certain things away and force you to do something else. So, you know, it kind of goes by the game and what the defense is given and what we feel we can capitalize on.
Are you just as cold as I am?
Am I cold?
Yes, it's a nice box.
I can't feel it right now.
Two things.
I'd rather be cold than hot.
Are y'all going to teach Nick Harbaugh to slide? And considering y'all talked about discipline earlier, do you feel like the team played with enough discipline today?
Well, to answer your question about Nick sliding, I know that Nick will answer that question for you. I know that Coach Heward is always talking to him about sliding and doing those things. So, you know, Nick's a tough guy. And if he feels like he can get, you know, and we have to keep teaching him that, you know, sometimes there's going to be guys hitting you that are bigger than you. But he's a pretty big, tough guy, and he's fighting for yardage, and he feels like he can get an extra yard or two rather than slide. You know, that's what he's trying to do. But he also has to learn that he has to take care of his body because it is a 12-game season, and we have a chance to win a lot of football games. So the other question, what was the other one again? About the discipline? Obviously, if we gave up 48 points, we didn't play with enough discipline on defense. You know, we did in some spurts, but not enough to slow them down. And again, you know, give the credit to Air Force. Don't take anything away from them. I mean, don't make it seem like we just went out there and played horrible. Our kids played pretty good football in phases. On the offense side, they put out 38 points and 549 yards of offense in 67 plays with 50% on third downs. I mean, that's pretty good football. Defensively, we gave up 48 points, which is not. You know, so eye discipline was tough in spots.
To be honest with you, I have no idea. You know, when you get out there, you're just trying to get in the end zone, so it's kind of a big blur.
What's going through your head? I guess getting into the game, were you cognizant of any of your, I guess, yardage amount? Did you know how many yards you had going into third and fourth quarter?
No idea. You know, it's all about trying to get that win. So, you know, we're just focusing on the sideline of what else we can do to, you know, counteract what the defense is doing or what's still working, trying to go out there and execute it again.
How do y'all overcome these negative plays that keep just turning over and over?
I mean, yeah, it's happened a lot lately, but we got to keep working, and in practice, got to keep working hard at it, and you can't let that bring you down. Even if we do have a negative play like that, we have to come back ready to overcome that.
Now, going into the fourth quarter, you know that you're down by a good amount versus a good team, and yet you start to, like I said, start rolling. What's going to be your head around that time?
We got to score. No matter how many points the other team puts up, they put up 48 points. We have to score 49. It doesn't matter. We have to go out there and put up as much points as it takes to win.
After that last pass, what you saw on the
Yeah, so when I came out of the backfield, I just saw the safety in the corner and everyone go with the drag route we had going across the field. So so I knew I was wide open, and luckily Nick saw me, so he got it to me, and then I caught the ball, and then I saw Linquez actually telling me to cut back because he had a nice block set up. So I cut back, and then I got spinned around somehow with one of the guys trying to tackle me, but I stayed up and then ran out of gas a little bit at the end. And but yeah, it was a good play. Probably a good bit. I think me and Nick were just talking about it. I think he tied the school the school record for passing yards. If I would have got that extra yard, he would have broke it. So that's on me.
How much are you looking forward to this year?
Looking forward to it a lot. Washington, it's a Pac-12 school. It's a big school, and the bigger the competition, the bigger level. You got to come ready to play, and that's what you play for. You got to come out there and ready, and you got to step your game up.
I mean, really, at the end, the only numbers that matter is the ones on the scoreboard. It's great to throw for a lot of yards. It's great that we got the offense working, the offense moving, especially against a defense like Air Force, who, that was the best defense we faced all season by a long shot. And so to have the kind of offensive performance shows you a lot of promise. But in the end, we needed to put up one more point than they did, and we didn't do it. It's not very important at all. I mean, I'd much rather win the game and not throw for any yards and just hand the ball off the whole entire game and win that way. Records are records. Records usually come from the offense performing well. I mean, I can't catch the ball for myself and can't block for myself, so I credit those guys more than anything.
What's going through your head when you're in those tight passes? You were really throwing the ball into some tight coverages to Terrell Reed, to Linquez. I really want to, what's going through your head?
I'm just holding my breath, praying that linebacker doesn't turn his head and get his hand up, because a lot of those were just skimming right past his ear. But we knew kind of that was their technique, that their linebackers were really good, especially against the run. But especially when we got guys like Quez running down the middle, some good athletes that we can get by them. And they were going to try to get down the field with them, but they were slow to turn their heads. So we were able to get a little bit of advantage there. I'm just glad that one of their hands didn't come up because, a tip ball could happen, a safety could get it. But we take our chances. We, as an offense, and I trust my receivers. I'll throw it to where I think they're going to be, and if they're there and we connect, it's a good play. I mean, this will personally be my first road game for Georgia State, so it'll be interesting just to see how the whole travel process and everything goes. But in the end, it's a football game. We'll be getting dressed up in a locker room come Saturday, and we'll be walking on into a 100-yard field, ready to play. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. It's going to be really nice playing in front of a lot of fans, whether they're our fans or not. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be. I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't rain, but it's Seattle, so the chances of that are pretty high. I like the matchups a lot. We can get some of our better athletes on their inside linebackers. I like our matchup. They're really good football players, but I always believe that our football players are a little better. And so really when I make those passes, I just try to put the ball to where the defender isn't, to where I don't think the defender can get it. So either our guy's going to get just past him and make a good play on the ball, or it's going to be out of reach. Kind of similar to when I threw to Joel, when I just barely overthrew him on a seam route there, I think in the second half. Kind of similar coverage. I just tried to throw it to where either he was going to get it or nobody get it, and it was a little bit out of his reach. But those are just kind of plays that we try to hit in practice and then hit in the game.
As a team leader and a guy who one day wants to be a leader, what would you say to the guys about cutting through the mistakes, the process of trying to sharpen focus a little bit?
We just got to keep practicing a lot better. I mean, defensively, we can't practice doing holding and pass interference and then expect to not do it in the game. Offensively, we can't have a false start. I think we probably had 3 or 4 false starts every practice this week, and then expect to not do it in the game. Or, we don't have refs out there in practice, so you can't just hold because you think you can get away with it because it's not going to be called. You can't false start because your only punishment is doing 10 up downs. You have to realize that you have to practice perfect. You have to practice as if it was a game and as if you're going to cost the team a series, cost the team points if you do a hold, if you jump off sides, if any type of penalty. Penalties kill our drives from an offensive standpoint, and really against the offense like that, it keeps their drives going because, that kind of offense isn't going to – I mean, they're relying on moving the ball slowly down the field and then occasionally hitting the big play when they catch you off guard. So giving them extra chances wasn't going to work. I mean, the 4th and 1, I think I'm pretty sure we got that. I mean, I was right there, and I saw us get the first down, but the ref spotted it otherwise. I was hoping for a challenge, but it's hard to challenge the ball spots, especially in a cluster like that, because not a lot of camera angles are going to give you a good view. And then the interception, they just made a really good play. Linquez ran a good route. The guy was tight on him, but, we completed a lot of passes versus tight coverage the entire game. That was one play where their linebacker made a good play on the ball. I think he got a hand on it as the ball was coming to Quez. And then their other linebacker was just in the right position, right play at the right time. Sometimes the ball doesn't always bounce your way. But we just got to eliminate those mistakes. And, whether we put up 38 points or not, that in the end, I would never blame the defense for losing us the game unless the offense managed to score every single time they touched the ball and still lose. If we scored every time we were on the field, our defense just has to give us one stop, and they did. They got us multiple stops. They punted the ball a few times. So it's up to the offense to score every single time. That's our goal. That's our job. We're not supposed to punt. Hubbard, as good a punter he is, hopefully he's never on the field. And if that happens, if we do get stopped, then it's on us if we lose.
Definitely like Nick said, I mean, it starts at practice throughout the week. I mean, if you make the plays at practice, you're most likely to make the same thing happens in the game. So, I mean, basically not letting it happen at practice, not letting it go because the only punishment maybe is taking a lap. But, I mean, just basically getting on guys about that.
You see it happening in practice a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. It happens in practice, but, I mean, it's practice, so, yeah.
And you set the record for the tackles.
Okay.
You said that another year. Nine games, that also. Can you talk about if that has any importance to you?
I mean, well, it's a record. I mean, just a record. They're meant to be broke. So, I mean, Arbo said I'd rather had won the game than, set a record, have any tackles.
Going against that offense, that high-point offense, the football team, yes, the winning offense, if you will. For the whole first half, you saw them running the option. How were you guys able to stop that in the second half? Because I think you saw that the rushing yard increased
All right.
in the second half.
Well, basically going into halftime, coach got with us, and from the box, up in the box, guys seen up in the box how they were running the option, and coach just came up with a better, game plan for the second half. A great game plan to be able to stop the option, but like I said, wasn't able to stop it enough. I mean, we came up short today, so.